Do you have questions about your health? Do you need to find out what's keeping you from feeling your absolute best? If so, your intuition has guided you to the right place. I am Dr. Charlize, and welcome to the Art of Healing podcast community. In this podcast, we explore all topics in health and wellness, from Reiki to functional medicine, energy medicine, chakras, and meditation. Join me every week for fresh new episodes that highlight healers, various healing modalities, and use this as your opportunity to find what healing works best for you. If you want to learn more about me, simply Google at Dr. Charlize. Enjoy. Hello and welcome to this week's Art of Healing podcast. This episode is an interview with not one but two special guests, so let me introduce them before we get into the interview. I am introducing mother and daughter team Chloe and Michelle Bobot. Chloe is the co-founder and marketing director of Oxynergy2. She embarked on a wellness journey influenced by her upbringing and educational pursuits. Chloe was raised by Michelle in a health-conscious environment. Chloe pursued a master's degree in marketing and business management in New York. However, after facing challenges and maintaining her well-being independently, she returned to Los Angeles, joining forces with her mother, Michelle, to rediscover holistic health principles. Michelle Bobot is an Iyengar certified yoga therapist, nutritionist, and fitness advocate, as well as a wellness specialist and a self-made immigrant woman entrepreneur. For Michelle, it's secondhand nature to help those around her feel better and healthier through natural and holistic approaches. Michelle is a member of the International Hyperbaric Association with safety certifications from the IHA. During this podcast episode, we will discuss hyperbaric oxygen therapy and other holistic topics. Make sure to check your show notes for links on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to these two dynamic ladies. Let's get started. Well, thank you so much for joining me as guests. Your energy is dynamic. You're beautiful ladies. I cannot wait to share your story with the community. So if you don't mind, I would like to know, how is it that we've got these masterminds, one business expert, one yoga expert that came together to do hyperbaric oxygen. So can you all share with me sort of your origin story?
Okay.
I think the community would love to know how this came to be, how your company came to be.
Okay. So first of all, Chloe is my daughter. So it's a mother-daughter combination here, partnership with a lot of love and most of it, a lot of passions. Okay. And so my background is, you said it, yoga teacher, Iyengar yoga teacher and yoga therapist, and also a fashion designer. So from Paris, I met my husband in Paris. We got married in Paris. Originally, I'm from Morocco. I was born in Fez, Morocco. And I had 3 kids in France and 4 in America with the same husband. So total 7 children. And Chloe is the youngest one. And so it was during COVID when we had this pandemic. I had to close my yoga studio. I had a huge yoga studio here, very dynamic one. And I transformed the yoga studio into a healing COVID center during the whole pandemic. And during the pandemic, I've seen so many people and requests and people looking for health and what next, how long this pandemic going to last, what are the viruses coming from. And then I investigate and I did a research to see how I can help, what is the next move for the future to be alive and to reconnect with the society and the community. And what came to me is was very lucky to find out about the hyperbaric, those chambers, what they do, what they are, and if it's a possibility to bring it mainstream, to democratize this healing process that was a treatment done only in hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
And so I made a long research, and more I was studying, more I was getting a big interest. And at the beginning, I said, okay, so I'm going to buy and organize to have a big chamber made just for my family for the next pandemic and things like that. And then as he was going, I was saying, okay, you know what? I have a big center, I have the space, and perhaps the best way is to make something big, something substantial here in Beverly Hills. And at this period of time, I needed a partner. I didn't know. I asked all my other children, and they said, this is too big for us. And it's kind of medical, it's not who we are. And it was really difficult. But it's something really, really I wanted to do myself. So I called Chloe. Chloe was living in New York, and then no question, she jumped into a flight and she came, and I said, okay, we're going to do it. We're going to make a change, and especially that Chloe with her youth and her energy, I thought that this is going to give her a purpose in life and a new direction and a bigger mission, okay, a bigger call. This was my call, and I really transmitted to Chloe, and Chloe also was like very excited. So she's gonna talk about this venture, how we started, and we started from home because it was still COVID, and so we start studying and we start building a website together, and we learn from scratch, and we start writing blogs, and we really worked hands to hand together, okay, with up and down, but we did it, and after I took care of the design and the vision that I had, and I traveled to Germany and out of the country to put those machines together, and the brand image also, and all my studies, and slowly by slowly it came to what it is today, center of longevity and recovery. And I'm adding also different services in to complement the protocols, and we developed some new protocols, Oxynergy2 protocols, to help the people, and I've seen a lot of passion so far. So as we see demand, we expand on the demand, and we develop more of the protocol that people needs. So I'm going to let Chloe talk about her joining me and her feelings. I think it's important that you know that, because you show some interest on that, Charlize. So, Chloe.
Okay, so I graduated from college with a marketing degree, marketing and business management. And then I was in New York. So after college, I got a job at a baby product company, and I was the e-commerce and marketing manager. And I loved it. And then 2 years after I started that job, I remember I was freezing cold waiting for the bus, and in New York. And my mom calls me. And I know we were in the middle of the pandemic, and my mom was very worried about our family. She wanted to make sure we were all healthy. You know, she has 7 kids. She's very caring. So she was telling me about these hyperbaric chambers, and it was very interesting, but I didn't know so much about it. And then she called me while I was waiting for the bus, and she said, I'm very interested in these hyperbaric chambers. We have my old yoga studio that we're not going to have yoga anymore in it. What do you think about coming to LA, and we'll open up a hyperbaric center, maybe put one chamber and just do hyperbaric? And I'm like, okay, yes. Quickly moved my whole life, and we sat down and we were really talking about it. And we're like, no, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this big, and we're going to do a real center for longevity with other services, more multiple chambers, the best chambers we can find. So from working out of our garage and building the website, picking out paint samples and making the logo and just everything, putting it all together, we really joined forces from my talents and her talents, and we just created Oxynergy2 and what it is today. And we would not even have imagined that it grew into what it did today. But I think we just started learning and we started taking courses and being certified and going to conferences and we kind of just dove headfirst into it. And so it's really, really exciting.
Oh my goodness. I think the listeners could take so much inspiration from those short stories, so much. And I do have my list of questions. I just want to comment that the birthing of Oxynergy came from a yoga studio. So that's interesting. So being that Michelle, that you are a yoga expert, you're an Iyengar certified instructor. Um, and then you are breath work would be your expertise, and then you move into hyperbaric. That is
Yes,
completely
right?
fascinating. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It's exactly like you said, fully rebirth. It's like a full circle. Because as a designer, I had a big company of design and I went into even interior design to my career. So from the creativity of the design and bringing color into life, I dressed women and then after I dressed them with my yoga and my spirituality. And now we are healing and growing and bring back this kind of happiness and balance into the woman life and of course everyone,
That is
not
amazing.
only the woman.
That's amazing. I knew you two were going to be incredible guests. That is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Incredible. That is so incredible. So, I'm familiar with hyperbaric oxygen. My background is as a physician. So in my community, it's offered for wound care, and I've seen amazing results. What happens here, because I'm in the center of the country in Oklahoma, is that our hyperbaric facilities often are booked out and become inaccessible because there's not enough. Maybe
Great.
you two can share with me just some of the basics of your studio for our listeners that are not local to you in Los Angeles. Your social media does guide us through what it's like to enter and what it's like to come in, but can you tell us a little bit about the studio, like just because you said you have multiple chambers and everything?
Mhm. Yeah, sure. So, well, first, the entire studio is a sort of mint green. So we did that to make it very calming. And we made it in a way that once you come into Oxynergy, you feel like you're in a different world, a different planet. So it's sort of to leave your worries behind. A lot of our clients are coming from doctors' offices, and they want somewhere they can go where they can relax and they can feel welcome and they can kind of feel like they're getting a spa treatment, even though hyperbaric, is not like getting a massage. So they come here and we have massage chairs, we have reclining chairs for people to wait, we have IV drips with vitamins, we have infrared sauna with red light therapy, we have lymphatic drainage massages, we have a biocharger with pulse electromagnetic fields, which is really cool to send electricity to your body. And then we have 4 multi-seat hyperbaric chambers, which are very spacious, non-claustrophobic. We have TVs inside of them. You can bring in your family, your friends. So it's really exciting. And then Michelle actually offers yoga classes on Sundays, yoga and meditation classes for our members.
Yeah, to go back to what Chloe said, the feeling was to create a bubble. When people come here, they need to feel safe, and it's a bubble where they have their privacy, and also that a place where they can trust.
Mhm.
So it is not a medical facility and it is not a spa facility either. It's where both of them, okay, meet, and it's really very harmonious. So people, when they come here, they say, "Oh, which a unique place! It's really special." So they feel it. They feel the energy. They feel the holistic side and the medical side at the same time. So there is this feeling of trust that they're going to come, they have a treatment, and they're going to do good, and they're in control of their health. Because at the end of the day, I believe, me myself, from my background, that you are your own healer. Whatever you put in your body, whatever you put in your mind, is what you're going to be or who you are. So I apply this from A to Z, and you can. I think people can feel it, and also I talk a lot with people here, and they love it because they reconnect with themselves. Because at the end of the day, when you are 90 minutes or 120 minutes in a hyperbaric, this is your chance not to be bored like people can think, but it's a chance where you can start talking to yourself. So it's also a preparation that I'm doing with some of the people. Is depend case to case.
Wow. So you'll have to forgive me. I was fighting the temptation to book my flight to come out and book my session. It's so hard not to be selfish when I tape these podcasts. I meet amazing companies like you two, and all I could think was like, I want to do my IV and then my hyperbaric. It's hard to stay on task. So the environment, even though this hyperbaric oxygen, as I knew it, is medical, this is definitely more of a healing environment with multiple services, and the clients can look forward to a whole body experience when they get there, if I understand.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
So
exactly. Yeah.
And that brings me to the next question: what are the misconceptions of hyperbaric oxygen therapy? Because as I knew it, it was just for the very sick. I've seen it in wound care, diabetics that have wounds that won't heal, burn victims. But can you both educate us on what the misconceptions are, and how is it that this is offered to anyone that seeks it?
Yeah. So a big misconception is that it's only for certain conditions. And so it's actually good for everything, general health and wellness, also longevity, healing internally. And a lot of people are saying, oh, hyperbaric's only for burn victims. But really, there's a long list of what hyperbaric is good for. And I think almost everyone can benefit from hyperbaric. We all have wounds that aren't healing. And when I say wounds, I don't just mean a wound on your skin that isn't healing. Maybe our brain is not functioning properly, or our liver is not functioning properly, or we have a skin condition, so our skin's not healing. So all of that is what hyperbaric is good for. And it's not something that people think of when they first think of hyperbaric. Another thing that people can think of is, oh, hyperbaric is scary. Oh, I would never do that. But it's all about finding the right center and the right people to help guide you through the experience, because that is 99% of the experience is the center, the people, the chambers, the environment that you're putting yourself in. So I would say that those two things are super important when looking for hyperbaric, to just understand why you're doing it and understand where you should go to do it.
Yeah, and I want to elaborate on that, saying that the technology is very advanced now, and the way they use it is very scary. The chamber used to be like a tube, like a scanner, and it really scary people. And you go and you put a full blouse, fully cotton. You change yourself. They put you 100% oxygen inside the chamber, which also is a fire hazard. So, but now with the new technology, they fix all this. So there is really no more accident like that, because the oxygen is delivered differently. The machine are done differently. So we're going with the newest technology. Everything is computerized. Everything is very safety first. So it's a fully different game right now. Now, also in the hospital, because I didn't have enough machine, and the treatment is quite expensive. You have to understand that for different reasons. And so they could not put everyone. So they really did, and they could not do scientific study on all the cases, because it would have been taking so long and so many people. So they did the most important, like the burn victim, the diver, or the wound, the diabetic people. And from this, so the insurance take those people and they really reduce. And even now, the hyperbaric are full in the hospital, and they keep buying machine, adding machine, but it's not enough. And also now the new research, there's a lot of new research all over the world with different big centers and researchers that come with new studies and new data that shows that the off-labels are becoming really more serious. So there is a debate, but so far there is so many conditions that can be treated and may help a lot of people at a different level, because the oxygen work really on the cellular level, and it is our first nutrient that gives us the energy necessary to function.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to share with the listeners, because in my previous life, I was internal medicine, so I treated very sick patients. So I had many patients that had diabetic foot ulcers that received hyperbaric oxygen therapy. So here's a secret. Those patients would fight so hard, even after their wound was healed, to go back to hyperbaric oxygen treatment. And you two just answered that question for me, because it would be the strangest conversations, because they would be better and they would just make up reasons, because, insurance, and they would have so many sessions by insurance, and they would just beg to go back. And I'd wonder why. And I said, really want, and they're like, I need to go back. I got a splinter. I got, they'd want to, of course, it was insurance, so they would deny it. But is this probably because they're getting these other benefits from hyperbaric oxygen, not just, I'm sick just from the wound, but they were, and I mean, it's happened over and over again. And I would be mystified, like, they want to go back, and they would just do and I had spent a few years that tried to find it. Again, I'm in Oklahoma, you are in Los Angeles. They try to find hyperbaric oxygen treatment on their own after.
Yeah. It's addictive, like you said, absolutely. It helps also on different levels. So they see looking younger, or feeling better, or more energetic, more happy, or the sight view, the vision improve. So there is a lot of other function also that are attached, like sexual arising, for men, and erection, everything the hyperbaric is doing, but nobody is really talking about it. But it does. So I have some customer that came for something, and it fixes other things. And effectively, the hyperbaric is addictive, because we never talk, nobody really talking about the memory of the cells. So even if you go for a wound, and the wound is closed and everything is good, my suggestion is always to have a maintenance program and to continue. Is not because it's closed that's it. I have a few customers that don't have pain anymore, and they even don't finish the treatment because they feel that they don't have pain, and they don't want to give this extra time to the treatment, which I keep calling them, and I say, no, you have to come and train, because your cells very quick. So some listen, some doesn't, but I know for sure they're going to come back, because the memory of the cell is what you need to attach. The problem is that there is no study in that, because we cannot study our own memory. How are you going to study the memory of the cells? But the intelligence of the body, me as a yoga expert, I can tell you that your skin has a memory. Every piece of your organ, every cell is full of energy and memory. And until your cells, your full angiogenesis system is not fully capable to understand what is trained for, you don't want to have some senescence cells. You just want to have a lot of good cells, a lot of blood flow. You want to change your DNA, and you can do that through hyperbaric.
That is amazing. So my next question is, hyperbaric oxygen therapy is something that athletes might want to do before game day. So tell me about this. This sounds like sort of an optimizing biohacking type of service, as far as athletes wanting to come in and get a boost before they need to perform.
Exactly.
So actually, it's funny because horses can't go in a hyperbaric chamber before a race, because it's considered a performance enhancing drug. So it is actually it's not allowed when horses race. They can't go in the chamber. I guess people were doing that, and then they caught on to it, and they said, okay, this is not allowed anymore. So, I mean, if that's the case, then for humans, imagine what it could do for us. I mean, it increases your energy, it can increase your performance, it increases the blood flow in your body, which means your muscles are getting more blood flow. They're able to repair faster, recover faster, they're able to move faster. You can have a better sleep. You know, when you sleep better at night, before a big race, you perform better. So it just helps your body overall perform at its optimal performance. So it's kind of like a superhuman. So it really, really helps. We have a lot of football and basketball players who come here and they do between 5 and 20 sessions before a big fight or game. And it just boosts their performance like crazy. The biggest players in the world do hyperbaric and they just are not talking about it.
What? Oh, that's
Mhm.
amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah, some of them have the soft chamber because you have to know also that there is soft chambers, which is hyperbaric, portable hyperbaric. So some people have a soft chamber home, they invest the money. The only thing is that the soft chamber doesn't bring you to a very high pressure. So it's really just to maintain, okay? But it does its job for some people.
Yeah, and I have a lot of people that come here and they work out 20 minutes before they go in the chamber. And that's really what helps you perform. You get your blood flowing, you get your muscles pumping, and you go in the chamber. And I have some customers that are really into working out and they were doing hyperbaric the days that they were doing these hard workouts. And they were saying, it's crazy. I've been doing the hardest workouts of my life. I've been able to push through them and I'm not waking up sore. I have zero soreness. And when typically they wouldn't be able to like move out of bed. So it makes a really huge difference.
So they're actually
Yeah.
getting their workout in before the treatment. They
Yeah, we have a gym. Yeah, we have a gym here. We have some machines, some equipment. So sometimes they come 30 minutes before the treatment. They use the gym, and after they go inside the chamber.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Mhm.
So, for the rest of us, for the average person, what would I expect if I wanted to get hyperbaric oxygen therapy going just proactively? What should I expect? What would I be looking out for? It sounds like I could be expecting to get some optimization of my muscles.
Yeah, the thing is, we are different than any centers because the thing is, it's we personalize the protocol for everyone. Like I said, you'll come and you tell me, and by talking at the beginning, you're gonna think you come just you're curious and you want to overhaul the health. But by going through the question that I will ask you, you're gonna realize that you have some issue that you never really talk, and in fact, you want to get better here. And then from this, we establish uh, with a goal. What's your goal? We talk about it. We agree about the protocol that is fits you, that be the best for you. If it's to do some light therapy, if you want just to have you fatigue and sometimes you don't have energy, so it'd be a different protocol. So if it's just to get to feel younger, to increase your collagen and to feel good, or because you have a surgery coming, or so it will all depend of all those elements. Or if you want to have a better cognitive, better memory, or you want to increase your power of working, because after 8 hours you're tired. So everything will be designed just for you by adding a few things and the way we put them in the different orders.
So, for the listeners, in your show notes, you will find how to connect with their center. But if you two don't mind, can you share with us some of the details, what it would look like to schedule? Because as we're talking, I just realized we're coming on travel season. You're in Los Angeles, so a lot of the listeners might be coming your way anyway. So, how would it look like to schedule? How do they find you to get their session in while they're in Los Angeles traveling on vacation?
Yeah, of course. So, well, you can find us. We're in Beverly Hills, Los Angeles, California. So you could find us on Wilshire and San Vicente. Our exact address is 113 North San Vicente Boulevard on the second floor. We have valet parking offered complimentary if you're coming to our center. And our center's name is Oxynergy2. I know some people have trouble pronouncing it, but it's like oxygen and energy. So Oxynergy, Oxynergy, the number 2. And our website is oxynergy2.com. Our Instagram is Oxynergy2. You can always DM us there if you have any questions or want to book, or you can go on our website to book or call us at 213-592-0201, or you can text that number too. We have a bunch of methods of communication. Just reach out to us one way, we'll get back to you.
Wonderful. So, any parting words or advice for us and listeners? I'm going to make sure you have all their contact info. So, even if you're not in California, but you're going to be making your way there, you might as well get some wellness done while you're traveling. But any final parting advice or words for us, ladies?
Yeah, I have something to say. It doesn't matter how old you are, at any age. It doesn't matter what you're sick with or what health conditions you have. It's super important to come and take care of your health. Hyperbaric is great for everyone, and we also have other services. It's also great preventative medicine. So we are not anyone without our health. We want to live a long, healthy life. So it's very important to take care of it and just get to know the new technology that's around, and we're here to help give it to you.
Yeah, and it's here. So I suggest everyone to take advantage of it, because you never know, life is short and you want to live it the best that you can be and expand on your life and health span, and to keep your function as much as you can, your activity, your cognitive memory, your health in general. And if you have anything that is coming or dying in your body, or a trauma or a long COVID symptom, the hyperbaric is here and may help you tremendously, being who you're supposed to be. So it's a kind of reversing aging. This is what hyperbaric does. It's not only anti-aging, but is really stopping the clock and going backward at the cellular level. And you can even test your blood, test your telomere, and you see how much younger you got. So it's really a science behind it. It's not just air. It's not just air. Perhaps it's not just air. People say, okay, just oxygen. Why not going and breathe just oxygen? You cannot breathe more than 21% of oxygen, but in the machine, you breathe 100% the way we deliver the oxygen and the pressure. And this is what makes the big difference, because the oxygen goes in every part in your body, and especially in your organ, your brain, your heart, your liver, your lungs, and it really expand and regenerate not only the tissue and the nerves and the ligament and the neuron, but it really regenerates everything. It's really what we call the natural nutrient, the holistic nutrient does it all, and it's look like it's selling, but it is what it is. But nobody is talking about simplicity. Everybody likes the complicated of something that they see instead of something how they feel, because to be connected with you. So I think we get freezed.
I think you're frozen. Oh, there we go.
Okay, there we go. Ladies, Michelle, Chloe, I very much appreciate the time and the education that you shared with the Art of Healing podcast community. For the listeners, you'll want to check your show notes for their contact information, how to get your session scheduled. Honestly, I think this is a great summer travel idea, because likely you're going to want to travel to Beverly Hills for some reason, or just to go. So in your show notes, I'll make sure you can contact them directly to get your session scheduled. Chloe and Michelle, thank you so much. I appreciate your time today. I appreciate the education. I'm completely inspired by how you took what could have been a very sad story and rebirth this dynamic, amazing company. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Charlize. It was a pleasure talking to you. And I got inspired by you and your audience and your questions. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. This was amazing.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye, Charlize.
Thank you so much for joining during this episode of the Art of Healing podcast. If you found this episode helpful, please leave a review Also, you can check your show notes to find out how to get a copy of this and future episodes emailed directly to your inbox, available to listen to anytime. Finally, if you have questions or wish to connect to me, check your show notes to find out how we can get connected and find out how I can be of service to you.